Hey guys, it's Chetta back. Just coming back here to kind of show you what kind of changed here in my last video. So apparently I've got it all put together and built. I apologize for all of the confusion as far as leaving you guys as a cliffhanger on my build. I uploaded all the videos to YouTube, and unfortunately it never went on, and went ahead and deleted all the videos off my machine because I was thinking all of them were on YouTube. So apparently not. So here's the actual finished product, and I'll be taking it apart to show you what's where the last video ended, and what pieces that I had to modify and things like that, and where to hot glue. So just to show you a quick test here, that it does power on, all the buttons work. We do still get the lightning bolt here in the top right hand corner saying that the Raspberry Pi is not receiving enough power. This is typical. The Pi 3 requires so much more power than the Pi 0. So the Adafruit 1000C just can't keep up with the power requirements to go through. But it does eventually boot up here, so when it does, I'll go ahead and do a safe shutdown and things like that. I know a lot of things have changed in the mods and everything that's been going on in sudomod.com and the forums there. Big shout out to Helder and Wormy for doing such a great job in the community. Kite also coming out with his board and making things really nice and easy to go through and install and set up here. So we'll go ahead and shut down the system here. And I can link my config files and things like that to make things a little bit easier to see on the screen, and make life a little bit easier on your eyes. So without further ado, I will pop the battery out. It's a little snug because I didn't trim these pieces down here, just to kind of hold the battery in a little bit better. I noticed from my first generation that I had built that the battery kind of swims a little bit, so I wanted to make things a little bit tighter inside there, and it kind of fits in there nicely. So we'll go ahead and power that off. Pull this guy out. And unscrew here. This is probably the most boring part of the video, is seeing how this comes apart. Gotta love work notifications while you're recording. Right. Slowly come apart here. So as you can see, a lot inside has changed quite a bit since my last video. Everything is hot glued into place, such as the switch, the USB piece here for the USB mouse and keyboard if you ever want to plug in a mouse and keyboard, or since this is a Raspberry Pi 3, we don't have to do a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi dongle. I manually turn that on and off through the settings within RetroPie. It's quite easy and simple to set up, but you will require a keyboard to type in your Wi-Fi password, unless if you map your keyboard buttons here from Helder's board, it will actually register as letters, and then start being the enter. But so we have our Adafruit here, hot glued down with a piece of electrical tape underneath, so that way we don't short circuit going on the back here. the potentiometer here for the volume up and down. Still trying to troubleshoot this. It works, but there's no amplified sound, but it does work through the headphone jack, so it makes life a little difficult to hear, but I think that's just a couple of settings that I have to iron out. But we've got the USB here, so we had to trim down just a little bit just outside, because if you remember in the original Game Boy, it had that little dust cover for the data port, so it's kind of beveled. So just modify that just a smidge, and you can easily put that in. So the easiest way that I've found on putting this in is to actually create a bed of hot glue underneath everything of where you want to place this guy, and let it cool down a little bit and until you're ready to pop this guy in. So you've got your power on the outside and then your data on the inside here, and they are going to pins PP 47, 46, and 48. As far as the power and data, and then the ground is just a standard ground that can go anywhere on the board. So if you notice on here, I was able to get this to fit with the full Raspberry Pi 3 here. I did desolder all of the items here as far as the Ethernet jack and everything, so everything is confirmed working and good. So once you have that on there, once it's soldered into place, the board can't really move a whole lot or be separated as easily. So if I remember right, in one of my previous videos, all of this was hot glued down into place, and I had to really cut the area here for the HDMI port. So I had to go almost all the way down into it to try and test fit it and get it to work. And then just the standard JTAG battery power going through here. I did have to slice out this area to kind of close it up and mash it in. One thing that definitely did help in this build was when I soldered Helder's I/O board into place. These wires were twisted, but I was still getting a little bit of feedback and noise, so I went ahead and just wrapped the cables with electrical tape, and it seems like it reduced enough noise to consistently get the board to work, which was super duper weird, but eventually it fixed the problem. So hopefully this answers a lot of your questions as far as how my build went. Sorry once again that the videos never showed up, but this is ultimately what it turned out to be. Now when I do come back to this project, I mean it's been a little while, so I probably will. I'll be doing the trigger buttons on the left and right on the back here, and I can simply do a video for that, just as Wormy did in his original videos for his original build. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I know a lot of you guys have through private messages and in the comments. You can subscribe if you like. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing videos. If I do, as far as beyond the Game Boy Pi build itself or any other cool Raspberry Pi builds, I may do one for my race car. It's Factory 5818S. I'll provide a link there, but I want to do a ODB readout using a Raspberry Pi and a 7-inch display on the dash. So you get live data as far as the G-forces, what's coming out of the ECU, and overall temperatures, pretty much anything that you could ever want as a gauge cluster. So stay tuned. Yeah, once again, feel free to leave comments, feedback, anything that you see that I could have done better or that you would like to see. Let me know, and I can either do a video on it or take your suggestion and put it on this build or another build. So thanks guys, thanks again for watching, and see you soon.